Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys PD and Cal. Say what's up, gents?
What's going on?
Hey, ready to rock.
Yo, team's all here. Today we're going to be discussing episode number 2 of Agatha. Hey, I'm going to throw this to my boy PD. PD, give us a background on this in this episode. What's your take on it, other than it was bad?
They escaped. You're saying it was bad, or you're saying I'm gonna say it's bad?
I'm going to say that you're going to say it's bad.
All right. So in this episode, they escaped the Salem Seven. That looked similar to the characters in black that were in Supercell, but that's something that we see all around. So basically, they wound up in this house, and they have this phony sort of thing going on where they have to drink and go through casting a spell. So it's making you try to feel like it's a coven, right? You're in there, they drink this, they have to go through these spells, but at the same time, it's causing them to change how they look. Agatha isn't. Somehow she's doing this thing where she's trying to trick them when she has to do the same things they have to do, because it's not an actual room, it's an escape room. All this thing was an escape room episode. So they basically borrowed, if you've seen the two escape movies where they show some, but like they're basically similar to like the Final Destination type of thing, these things where people have to, or saw those type of things. We kind of do, but it's more similar to the movie because you play the game, the escape rooms, and then there's two movies out there. So there's obviously the escape room movie, didn't proceed, obviously playing the game in person. But this is, the movies that have been able to up the stakes, give you that sort of type of feel in this escape room. And this one tried to do the same thing with death and then the flood into the room and all this stuff. And but otherwise, that really took the wind out of the sails of the episode. So
Hmm.
outside of one of the witches looking gorgeous the entire time.
Which one?
What's it, Shashir? Um,
Zametta,
she's from what's her name?
SNL.
SNL. Yeah, so she was killing it. She basically
She
was
was killing it in that dress.
yeah.
Once the dress was over, we were back to Nothingsville.
Shashir Zamata. All right.
So, Cal, what's your take on the episode? What do you think about it?
Uh, Again, I think if they're going for a particular target audience, then they're doing a great job. The trouble is, I don't know who the audience is, so that's. I find the show confusing. I have no idea who's interested in this. It's not me. I don't think it's you. You know, not Petey. So who's the target audience for this? Where you're going to get your ratings and justify making this show in the first place? Because other than that, I just don't see a need for it. I can't even say I can't say the show is good or bad or on the line because hey, for all I know, the people that they're trying to target are really enjoying this. The trouble is, I don't know who wants to watch this at all, especially with the structure that they have. I mean, what did we have in the first two episodes? She was still stuck in a TV show, so we had that remnant of WandaVision. Now we're doing this escape room stuff, and even the people who they got to play these particular roles, if they had maybe gone with somebody a little bit more of a name, I could understand the people who they're bringing in. But this is an extension off a show that came out 3 4 years ago, and I don't know who the audience is, and it makes it very difficult for me to really to assign a grade, if you will. If I just went by my own stuff, I could say C B, but I'm still perplexed as to who is the target audience for this show.
I think it's pretty obvious. They're trying to get the audience that was in the the One Division one, right? And they think that they had a very strong female audience that liked it, right? And so that's who
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to recapture. Remember, this is the most successful or
But the
the most
majority of the
viewed.
audience was male.
I thought it was
The
different. I thought this one was the most
the
successful.
majority, no, with superhero stuff, the majority of the audience is always male. It's always male. It's rarely there's even a plurality. It's always male. So, and I was part of that audience. So if that's if the general audience is that you just want to get the women who showed up, okay. But I don't know how you do. I don't know how you do that with these particular characters and the story that you're going with right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, what I have to do agree with you is it seems a little muddled in terms of who they're going after. I think though that they're going more. Sorry, it's not. Let me change that. I think they're going after a female audience, right? I think that's who they're looking for. I think a lot of the things for the male, I just don't feel that many of the themes that I guess older comic book readers would prefer are they're following that type of dynamic. I think it's just a very different situation now. It's a younger generation they're looking for a little bit more freer and how they think on a lot of different things. And we're stuck much more in how things should be. I mean, I still can't get over the seven. What do they call the Sinister Seven? I mean, the comics they're different than they are here, and they're making like Petey just said, they're making them to be like, you know, what are those guys in Harry Potter? The bad guys who fly around and they're trying to get everybody. It's like that as opposed to these are seven individual characters, and theoretically they're all her
Turn them into.
grandchildren. So it would be better. Probably in the very end, that's what they're going to do. But I feel that when they do these shows, they simplify these things considerably, and they don't really try and really understand the source material. We've said this so many times. And I think it'll be a much more popular show, and I think you'll get the people who read this stuff and say, "Hey, wow, they really did this." Instead they're going to say, "Hey, there's a bunch of spoilers, not spoilers. What do you call it? Easter eggs that are in here related to this and related to that." But yeah, it's like, am I caring about the show right now? And right now, I'm not really caring about it that much. Doesn't mean I won't in the future. It doesn't mean they're going to change, but I just feel that they're
It
really.
means you won't in the future.
Yeah, because the Easter egg stuff, that's just pandering. That's just, oh, we know this is going to be for the geeks, for the nerds, for the dudes, and we'll drop this type of stuff, and they can geek out about that, and we'll draw them in that way. But it's exactly what you said. I mean, we have the Salem Seven from the comics. I'm not expecting to see that. That was the Bronze Age, totally different thing in terms of design. But you did have seven distinct characters. Now
Yes,
they just look like ring wraiths. So
ring race, exactly, ring race.
so what are we supposed to expect from that? And I don't know, it's just I watch it and like I can't say if it's good or it's bad. It just kind of is, unless like, well, who are you targeting at this point? That's how low it's. I guess that's how bad it's gotten in terms of the justification for these shows. I understand that originally we had them as stepping stones to the films, and then everybody was trying to snatch up as much of the streaming content as possible because they didn't know how long COVID was going to go on. Then that comes to a halt, and these guys are like, okay, what do we do now? And you still have the need for content, but I don't. Again, who's the viewing audience for this? Are you successfully getting them? And if not, why can't you guys just do what you did before? Because that worked.
Yeah,
I'd only add because I know it's as the when you're in like the marketing meeting, you might want to say what are you going for, and they obviously, I don't know that. I think they've been above television and been using television as, hey, this stuff is so rinky dink. Let's spoof Mayor of Easttown. Let's spoof Mayor of Easttown. We'll do it straight serious. And then now we'll do Escape Room. And it's just like, all you're doing is just copying all this stuff when it's just like, it's like someone commented on our site, her name is Tricky D, and he like said, saying that, hey, they could do hard thing, but the same difference is like, I'm not asking, with something like Agatha, she has maybe there's like a, total like 10 issues where you see her around. The first the issue she appears, she's in the Fantastic Four with the kind of passing Franklin back to the family, so they gave a big story with the Salem Seven and Old Salem and all this other stuff. She's in a couple of Avengers issues. But you have ground to kind of make things up and do things with. But then what they're doing is kind of half-gassed. And then at the same time, if you're going to do your own thing, least put some thought into it. Because why I bring up Tricky D, he came up with a whole angle for his own Salem 7 that would, I guess, would be more updated and whatnot. It's like, all I'm asking you to do is do something that would be like this is the elemental one. This is this other one. This is the, like, that sort of thing. Just something where you have something happen instead of saying, we're going to waste episode 2 on an escape room. Where they build
Well, episode 3, really. This is episode 3, because they did 1 and 2.
they did the first 2 in this episode 3. Yeah, you're right. So the waste an episode on them doing a concoction that we can't connect to. We don't know, these products. This actually is using fake products. It's like these gags and all the stuff that just don't land. It's like, come on. And you got talented people that have been around stuff. We need some more of, obviously, who was in name? Aubrey Plaza, because the scene with her was pretty good. And more of that. And try to figure this thing out. But right now, it's just like, here's a delayed game. And instead of, when you see I Love Lucy, you can, find one that maybe is not your fancy, but they're hitting you all the time with gags, and it wasn't always, formula. There's always, I look at the one where Ricky forgot that it was their anniversary, and he's in the house and said, "So Lucy," the nurse is like, what are you doing for your anniversary?" And Ricky like, and he falls out of his chair, and Lucy's like completely mad, and then they have a whole romantic end. Like the end is the romance, no gags of them connecting. So it's like you gotta look at television and say, what are they doing right, and how can we get it so we can mass produce it? Because the success of a show is how you take the formula and you make it into Three's Company. Not say, hey, we're making it into, if you're gonna just do like a movie, then just get all the bad ideas out and do a movie. But the Agatha's not going to sell. The actress who's in it is not going to sell you sell the movie. So you're saying, hey, we're going to go to TV and do this character that rarely people seen, but we're going to rest on our laurels because with Marvel, we're just going to let you decide and say, this wasn't that bad. This was better than Echo. This was better than it's way better than DC, better than Arrow. Like, you're wasting your time on this type of thing. When you could get some, this is where writers' room get fired. You get fired putting out product like this. I don't want to just be like the demo. That's the point I brought up to start off. I don't want to just go to the demographic and figure who, you got bad product, you fire as many writers as possible to get to good product. And if you're doing something that people think is bad, if it's successful, keep doing it. But at this time, they're like, we're not getting the views we want, but we're going to keep doing this until the audience figures out that we're better than what they're thinking. And nobody's talking about all the shows. They're not looking at the, people might say they like, what's that thing, WandaVision, but maybe because I don't know why. But it's not something I feel like I would go back to on any of these shows. And I mean that across the board. Across the board. Not giving anyone any love.
My thing is that I see I don't want to say
it's bad.
It was a bit boring.
It's bad. It's okay.
I said it was a bit boring when I was watching the episode, right?
Thank you.
And I'm not gonna deny it, but
yes,
there were some interesting parts, right? I mean, probably the number one thing is that they finally used Mephisto's name, right? So we know that finally they acknowledge that he's there, right? So you're like, okay, cool. That's a big freaking win. They're finally bringing him in. He's connected to this stuff. Wow. I don't know if they're gonna say he's connected to the Darkhold.
Why is that a big win?
Yeah, because that's a villain that they've had in the back pocket for so long, and finally they're bringing him into the thing. I think that they're gonna eventually use him for a Doctor Strange villain. At one thought, I thought they were gonna bring him into probably what's the name of that movie? The one that they're gonna do. When all the superheroes battle and stuff together, what's it called?
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. Probably they'll bring him into that. I'm not sure.
Do what?
But, yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, what? He had nothing to do with that story.
A lot of things don't know to do with the stories. We don't know what they're doing. But what I'm
Okay,
saying
well,
is that hold on, let
no,
me finish.
no.
Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. So what I'm
All
saying
right,
is that here
ah,
you have the son, what's her name's son, WandaVision's son, Wanda's son, and he has that spell preventing him to talk.
Wait
you
a
don't know if
second,
Knowing that,
that's
you
his
read
son.
that in the book or something?
You
huh?
don't know if that's it. You don't know if that's her
Of
son or
course, that's
not.
her son. We knew that the minute he came in. We knew he came back. That was who he was supposed to
We
be.
don't know if that's her son or not. We don't know
It
if that's
is
Nick's.
going to be her son. That's
We
why he
don't know if
can't
that
talk.
We don't know if that's Nick Scratch.
No, not Nick Scratch. I'm talking about Wanda's son. One of the
You
two
think that's
guys.
Wanda? You think that's Wanda's son?
Yes, that's one of the
Yeah.
two. One of the two.
Oh
That's
my
All
who I
right.
think it is.
that's
Eh,
terrible.
all right. I'm still waiting. I mean, I tried to give you some room on this, but I'm still waiting to hear the stuff that's good. I don't see how mentioning Mephisto is any good at all because Mephisto doesn't tie into any of this. So they're pretty much still doing what they want to do. They're making this up from whole cloth with already established characters and storylines. The fact that they mention Mephisto, that's another Easter egg. That's like, here, hey, you stupid guy over here. Yo, yeah, you geek nerd. Yeah, here you go. Here's a little bit of something for you to go chase after while we concentrate on making the good stuff. And then to what Pete he said, it's less of, oh, we're gonna keep making this, you know, and then you can compare it against the other stuff until you realize how good it is. It's more like we're gonna keep making this stuff until you finally just give up. and then and then finally accept it for whatever, you just watch it like a drone, if you will, because it's not good. And they keep doing it. And the people that they put on it don't seem to understand what they have, but they keep doing it. I mean, again, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, they keep doing this. It's insane. Eh, but I'm still holding out that little sliver for them in that, oh, we're targeting these particular people. I'm like, okay, but who are these people? And are you getting them? Because it doesn't seem to be happening.
Well,
Is,
look,
is
I see it, but I'm looking at it in terms of now we're going to find the whole. They're going to reveal Mephisto as being the one behind all this stuff. He's the one hiding the. He's the one who has a spell on Wanda's son. He's the one who's really going after them. Especially they're saying like Nicholas Scratch. What did she say? I think one of them said that that she sacrificed her own son for the Darkhold. I mean, that has to be Nicholas Scratch, right?
That
So
is Nick. That is Nicholas. Well,
right. So
that's her son in the comics. So I
it
don't know
has to be
what they're
him,
gonna. I
unless
don't
they
know
have
what they're
someone
gonna do
else.
here.
Unless they're giving her another son named.
Well, they could always come up with
So
just give him a total new name and call him Bagatha instead of Agatha. Whatever nonsense they will come up with.
or it could be that she sacrificed him, but he never really died, and now he's coming back after her. Who knows? But I'm just saying, right now, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. They're trying to build a Coven. The Coven. This is the team, right? That they're trying to build, having them going forward and stuff. And at the moment, I don't know. And team is to me. You guys don't think it is, but I know it has to be on this side because I know they've been talking about this before in other media that they're going to probably bring back one of the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
No, I see. If I go that route, then again, I'm not watching the show for the quality of the show. I'm watching to see if there's a reveal that this is actually Wanda's son. So there's no reason for me to watch this. And again, it's more the same thing. Hey, we don't really think you're too bright anyway. So here's some Easter eggs and just keep watching for 6 or 7 episodes. I mean, this thing is supposed to be 9 episodes long.
No way.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about 9 episodes. So I'm going to be here every week for 9 episodes based on the strength of a reveal of a character that I don't really care about. Is that what you are honestly telling me?
We'll see. We'll see. So hey, overall, did we enjoy this episode or not?
no.
Pete.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Okay. And the answer for me is it didn't work as well as it should have. You know.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Are you allergic to yes and no? What does that mean?
It means I don't want to piss off our future employer. That's what it means. Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
accept that.
You expect me to sit in the writer's room having to and not be sarcastic when all these bad ideas come along? And then when I say, here, there's a story called The Coming of Galactus, and everyone laughs me out of the room because I
They
brought
haven't read the
stuff.
stuff, PD, so how would they even know? That's what I'm trying to say. You're giving them too much power. Saying that they know the material
I didn't
and then
say
they
they
go into
know.
what
I
you
said I'd be ranking out their stuff, and then I would come in with the what's the name, and they would make fun of it. So
yeah, and
like
they're gonna say
that's the job you want me to take?
yes. You know, Because remember, by 15%.
You're gonna be one playing what's the name? Damage control. After Petey said XYZ. Like, no, I pointed out the problems in your plot.
Just write it like they ask. Okay?
No, I'm not gonna do that. What's the point of doing a job that sit around there and saying, you just tell me which episode? That's the thing.
Yeah, the
I
point is
do.
Mars wants to stack paper from the floor to the ceiling.
Just need to get our 15%, bro. That's all I'm asking for, all right?
Sitting in the
Yeah.
writer's room, I write the episode they want me to write. It gets them awards. Then they say he wasn't involved in it at all. That was the committee part. It's like, what? I cursed everybody out. I got one good episode out of the whole deal, and then they got to get rid of me when the one hits.
They're gonna call you Bo DeMaio too.
Yeah. No, they're gonna be like
No.
like on Lost. So it's like let's just think. All right, you just need to like the Mephisto thing. I know we're ending. Mephisto thing is a backstory element. If you're gonna do a Mephisto story, do it with him in it. Not say, hey, somewhere down the line, because at this point, all of the what's the name, the end credit scenes, they're pointless. All the hints that they were gonna do, they throw them out. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do this myself. And then they say, oh, this thing, Infinity Gauntlet, this is fake, like that sort of thing.
No, but yes and no. But this isn't Mephisto the one who gave Wanda her kids?
No, not directly.
That was a retcon.
No, that was not a retcon.
That was a retcon. Originally,
they never
she did the whole
revealed where the
magic.
babies came from.
That's a retcon.
That's not a retcon. A retcon is if you have.
We can disagree on that one. I won't go too deep. But that was a retcon. I read those stories. That was a retcon.
Where did those babies come from?
I thought
Originally, it was that she conjured them herself. She did it of her own thing. Then it became, no. We got this other thing going on over here because people didn't like the fact that she had the kids.
Okay, it doesn't matter. The point is, the kids are open to
if there's a
Mephisto coming.
reveal in history where they show you where the kids came from. Because I've argued with this point. They said they had the kids because he was an android, and he had. I've argued this so many. They haven't revealed it. So anyway,
he had android cells. That's how
they had clothes on the entire time.
Hey, I have no idea what the heck they did in the privacy of their own bedroom. I just
they weren't in the bedroom. They were out in public.
I'm being figurative. See, you're taking this too seriously. It's a retcon.
It's not. That's not a retcon. Anyway,
okay. So episode 2, 3, we have some issues with, and we hope that as it continues, it develops into a better story.
You think we're gonna?
What are you talking about?
If you bring Mephisto as the what's name, they're not gonna get rid of the kid.
What are you talking
about? This isn't gonna
part of Mephisto, the kid would go back to Mephisto and be gone forever. If you bring Mephisto in and say he was involved in this, and say he was the actual villain of part of this thing, we're not going to get the what's right is saying, hey, this is all a part of a villain's thing. That's where you can get rid of. They adding the adult kid in here now. That means the kid will still be here, and we have to reference Mephisto every time we see him.
No, remember, they're going to be adding him.
For Mephisto to come into the universe because I have a copy of Silver Surfer #3 up for sale. It can be yours. Just leave your contact information in the comments. I'm more than willing to work out reasonable, competitive prices right now before he actually drops. Once the drop happens, it's going to skyrocket. So don't get caught. Don't be left out. Okay, don't be that person.
So I'm just saying that if he is there and he's the one that helped to bring back Wanda's son, therefore, what is it? Wiccan? I think that's his name, Wiccan. And he brings back Wiccan. Therefore, there's a connection with the whole Mephisto, and that doesn't mean. Remember, they've already said they want to bring these kids into the whole Marvel universe with I thought it was Thunderbolts or Young Avengers or something like that. Who knows? But there was a lot of different ideas that they wanted to do at one point.
Well, he's going to be in Young Avengers. They got another young guy, and they don't got any guys in there. So what else are they going to do with him? He's going to be in the new Avengers.
So there it is. So they're not going to take him away. But the reveal that Mephisto shows up, that's the most important thing. So that if there's anything there's a positive light in this whole episode that Mephisto may be coming, it may be behind the whole damn thing. and that's a
I, I
big plus.
I am still trying to understand why that is a positive, but I won't harp. I'm not going to harp on that. I'm not going to harp on the whole thing being a retcon. I'm just going to move forward.
Yeah, I'm just saying that finally they're going to have
Not
a
a
villain
record.
that cannot be
I heard that.
made positive. Okay, there's no way to make Mephisto a positive villain. You know what I'm trying to say? He's the
What do you
devil.
what are
We
you
need
talking
the
about?
Mephisto in the story. That's the problem. He needs to be in the story, not a footnote.
Okay, all
That's
right.
what
So
I'm
let's.
arguing.
Mephisto doesn't even work for this because there's no two ways about it. In this one, she totally conjures the kids on her own.
What we're saying is that this whole thing, people going after Agatha, could be him behind all that, right? Also the kid, him being the kid being. Look, it's a lot of speculation, so probably let's not speculate.
Yeah,
A
on your
review,
part, there's a whole bunch of speculation. Why would he be going after Agatha?
we don't know. There may be a whole thing. Probably she's trying to
Maybe she
dangle her.
is then. They reveal that Agatha is, after all this nonsense, Mephisto. They'll have everything they need.
No, 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 no. Bite your
Yeah,
tongue.
yeah, yeah. There you
Bite your
go.
tongue.
There's your
No,
story.
no,
Agatha's Mephisto.
no. All right. Hey, let's wrap it up.
Oh, Agatha becomes Mephisto.
Oh my gosh. All right. Hey, thank
Agatha
you
goes
everybody for
both
tuning in. If you like
ways.
what you see, give us a thumbs up, comment,
Did
spin
you say
around.
goes? Oh, wait a minute. You said goes both ways. So Agatha becomes a bisexual Mephisto.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
There's your story.
shouldn't
There's your
be any
story.
boundaries. No boundaries.
Boundaries, boundaries. Hey, spin rack. Spin rack.
Hold on, I can't find the
Oh my
stop
God.
recording. So we have to keep going.
Yeah, I got two choice words for you guys once the minute we stop this. That's all I gotta say.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh,
it's,
oh,
it's,
you can say it now. Let the
yeah,
people
no.
hear what your thoughts really are. Go ahead, say it now.
Say the word, you know. But hey, if you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up, comments. I know you're gonna criticize these guys. Hey, not my fault. Not my fault. Spin rack.
Out.
Out.